Joined us on the line from the KwaZulu Natal South Coast, and I started by asking him to give us a breakdown of what the proposed amendments for the e-tolls are. This is what he said.
What this regulation hopes to do is to actually now lump together people who have not simply paid the e-toll bill as being effectively people that are infringing on road traffic conduct, etc. Now, they are simply, it's a device which they're trying to use as a way of bringing a constraint and a censure on people for renewing their license, vehicle registrations annually. So they're wanting to be able to make sure they can include the failure to pay e-tolls as being a road traffic infringement and therefore a reason not to give people issue them with their disc. And that, for me, is very serious because it's actually further delegitimizing the role of good governance. And we're wanting to urge the public to respond to this comment period before the 6th of next month. Go onto our website, the Outa website. You'll get some guidelines. And to make it very clear that we will not accept this, not just because it's not good for the whole, in terms of the e-toll issue, but the broader issue about how our society needs to have a government which listens to its people and which is accountable and transparent, sensitive to our needs, and involves us in policy-making processes that are workable in the long run. Unfortunately, we've seen that e-tolls is not workable. It's not working. They're trying to use desperate measures of sticks and carrots. They're not working. It's time for e-tolls to be scrapped and for us to get back on track and into a good governance relationship with the citizens.
Look, John, outline for us, how will this now affect motorists should it be passed, some of whom are already cash-strapped for cash, in these economic times?
Yes, I know Sanral and the Deputy President would say that we've already reduced the cap, we've reduced the rate, etc. So they'll say, this is, and they have offered 50% discounts and that. We are saying the issue is not only a question of the affordability, that certainly is. There is still this huge elephant in the room with the fact that the whole construction cost of the GFIB was considerably exceeded due to tender fixing and price collusion by the construction companies. They've even pleaded guilty to that, but Channel has not recovered that money. It has done nothing yet, as far as we can see, of making sure that odious debt is repaid. So in that sense, when they started doing that and started showing and calling accountability from those construction companies, well, then they start saying, well, yes, there is some sense of justice in the whole system, and maybe they could have brought back some credibility. But the fact that they're not doing it is serious. And I think that we need to see this as more than just simply a kind of an economic issue or a financial kind of accounting issue. It's a question of government legitimacy, and that's the concern I have about the fact that we are seeing a steady and growing delegitimization of governance by foolishness and rank opportunism and manipulation by government.
All right. Look, John, I know you've mentioned that this issue is still up for public comment until the 6th of January, but please tell us, as Outa, how do you plan to fight this and where can people assist you?
Well, they can basically go onto the website. We've given the details of the people they must email their comments to and take advantage of it. And overwhelm them. I have to say, initially I was a bit cynical about them slipping this through over Christmas when everybody's on holiday, but I think people are kind of now have picked up on the story, and we've had over 700,000 people on our website already looking to find out. So I think the Department of Transport is going to have a massive kind of number of things in their inbox to try and process. The point is that they're needing to go through this public consultation process nominally before they then go to the parliamentary process of actually amending the Act, because it's a statutory issue that has to be done. And of course, there's a rather packed parliamentary procedure, program coming up. There's a lot of other controversies, and they're trying to get this thing done as quickly as possible. And I think I would logically try to get it out of the way before the election so that e-toll isn't another election, again, an election issue. Well, I think that they're actually going to find that they're going to have to kick the can down the road a long time before, and it is going to be an election issue. And I think we need to just, from our point of view, we're wanting to change our emphasis in the new year to saying we're not just there as an opposition to urban tolling, we're there as an organisation undoing tax abuse, because we've seen far too much of that. across the board in various state-owned enterprises, and we wanted to say now we're going to use what we have experienced through the whole e-toll saga as a way of holding government accountable to the Constitution. And I would also just urge people to read our Constitution. It's an excellent document, and to claim those constitutional rights, to help them, and for people to realize that human rights don't belong to government, they belong to people.
And back to our top story now. Justice and Correctional Services Minister Michael Masuta is expected to announce